Hey everyone! A lot of people want to know about fitness and nutrition, and what a lot of people don't know is that it's 80% diet, but it does kick in better when you're exercising as well. So I am 6 weeks out from a fitness competition, and typically what you tend to do is day one after your previous competition, your goal is to put on as much muscle as possible. And then the competition is pretty much losing weight while keeping the muscle that you've earned since the last competition. So this is my second one. My first one was really not a lot of time to put on muscle. So I had a little bit, not enough, but you know, my shoulders are almost good enough. But what I wanted to talk about was the diet. So the secret to, I guess, losing fat in general is to eat as often as you can, even up to every 3 hours. So the leanest people, the leanest fitness competitors, they basically eat on the watch. So they never go more than 3, maybe 4 hours without a meal. Every single meal has protein in it. And basically a lean piece of protein would be a piece of chicken the size of your palm, a piece of fish the size of your palm, or any lean beef, you know, shrimp, but really you try, or egg whites. If you feel deprived when you have scrambled egg whites, add 1 yolk. It's fine, as long as you're getting protein in every meal. So a sample of a fitness competitor's diet is basically, in the AM, they take like 1/3 of a cup of oatmeal and they put in a little Splenda, cinnamon, because cinnamon actually raises your body temperature a little bit, and it's called a thermogenic, and it helps you burn a little bit more. So they'll eat that plus scrambled egg whites for breakfast. 3 hours later, they'll have a lean piece of chicken or whatever, and maybe a little bit of starch as a yam. Yams are one of the healthiest starches because of all the vitamins in there, plus as many green vegetables as can fit on your plate. And you do that every 3 hours. So one way of thinking about it is, at the end of a meal, we tend to stuff our faces because we think we're not going to get another meal forever. So, you know, we're designed for feast or famine. So basically what you have to remember is you should be hungry a couple hours after these meals. So, you know, eat and don't fill yourself up until, you know, you feel like gagging. Just eat enough for 3 hours worth. A second trick is you will feel as good as your last meal. For example, at 3 o'clock, a lot of people just doze off. That's because they probably had more than 30 grams of carbs for a woman, or more than 45 grams of carbs for men in a meal. What makes that carb worse is if it's starchy or high glycemic index. Basically, it means it goes into your bloodstream super fast. So you want to control that by 2 things. One, you can control that by eating protein in that meal. Secondly, you can control it by eating fiber in the meal. So the more fiber, the more water content, it'll slow down how fast those carbs hit your bloodstream. And you know, so what you want to do is, rule of thumb, women, do not eat more than 30 grams of carbs in a meal. You drink 1 juice, that's 30 grams of carbs, you're done. You know, don't drink anything that has sugar in it, because you wouldn't eat 10 oranges at a time. So why are you drinking a glass full of the juice of 10 oranges at once? It's like, take out the sugar. Anyways, I'm not going to go on a rant. So that's why you feel tired after lunch. You had too many carbs. So try to keep it balanced. So basically, rule of thumb, don't drink your sugar. Eat protein the size of your palm for meal, a little bit less for snacks if you can't get a full meal. And eat a lot of green vegetables in every meal and a little bit of starch. You know, you can cheat a little bit. Like, this isn't to be strict, or you shouldn't feel guilty after you cheat. But just remember, after you eat something sugary, you feel the effects of sleepiness, craving carbs, basic irritability, and not able to think as sharply afterwards. You can correct this by eating, once again, a balanced meal. But what we tend to do is go back to the vicious cycle of, you know, after a bad meal you start craving carbs and then you have them again. Always remember, if you stop the cycle and have a well-balanced meal, you won't feel, it'll stop the cycle. So just a few tips. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But basically I'll go over everything again. Try to eat every few hours. Never go more than 5 hours without eating. Pack your food the night before, portion it out, and put it in the fridge to take to work. Secondly, every meal has to have protein the size of your palm. Lean chicken, egg white, lean piece of beef, what else? Cottage cheese, low-fat cottage cheese is great. You know, dice up some apples, throw them in there. You know, sprinkle a few almonds on there. So that's a second rule. The third rule is don't drink your sugar. Don't drink sugar, ever, ever. And last rule, don't feel guilty if you have a bad meal. Just correct it as soon as you can with a healthy meal. And those are my tips for today. I hope you guys liked it. I know we talked about cats. I've put a little bit of singing, but I also have a passion for fitness and I thought I'd share. Any questions? Let me know. Mwah.